Yo, 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 yo. It's your boy MF Crypto here, aka Quant, aka the Wife Changer, aka the Quant Father. Once again. And as always, I'm on a mission to help you build generational wealth. Welcome back to the channel, my fellow Quant fam community. And for those of you who may be tuning in for the very first time, welcome in as well. I have an explosive Quant Network video update for you today. CBDC'S Imminent. Martin Hargreaves reveals future of Quant Network's key role. Now I have two separate articles in relation to Quant Network and their direct involvement with central bank digital currencies of the future. But before I dive into that, ladies and gentlemen, I have started a personal passion project in direct relation to our very own beloved Quant familia. The name of this passion project is Quant Yacht Club. I have tagged some products in the description below. Guys, those are there from here on out. I will be giving away 5 separate Quant Yacht Club t-shirts once this channel reaches the 2,500 subscriber mark. I'm very excited about it. I put some designs together last night. I thought to myself, let's continue to build out this community, continue to build up awareness. There was no better way than to go ahead and just create some new merchandise, get people excited about the future prospects of having a Quant Yacht Club in the future once this project reaches its lofty potential, which each and every single one of you out there listening right now knows that it will once the switch is flipped for everything to come online. Taking a look at the price chart here on the weekly, we're currently trading at 93.88, up about 1.5%, guys. Your best friend is dollar cost average DCA into this asset if you believe in it as much as Big Papa Quantstradamus does. He's here for you. Don't ever get it twisted. Switching gears over to Quant Network's official LinkedIn page, guys. Here we go from 4 hours ago. What does the future hold for central bank digital currencies? Our Chief Product Officer, Martin Hargreaves, spoke to the FinTech Times about the forces driving CBDC exploration as well as the potential barriers to implementation and adoption. Quote, CBDC development will be gradual and inconsistent, with different jurisdictions moving at different paces, said Martin. Guys, that is exactly what I told you here just a few videos ago. And in the past few weeks, I have made it very clear that the pace at which these CBDCs are rolled out will be very much dependent on local jurisdictions, local legislative bodies for each sovereign entity and country in which they are being rolled out in. This is not to get you discouraged. As a matter of fact, this is something that is extremely bullish for Quant Network's future, as the United Kingdom is uniquely positioned to take a central bank digital currency stance, a very pro CBDC stance. As we all know at this juncture and this point in time, Quant Network expands well beyond the scope of just merely CBDCs. This is from the FinTech Times, as previously mentioned. Are CBDCs doomed to be put on ice? Exploring project delays, challenges, and potentials by Tom Bleach. While central banks across the globe have begun researching the possibility of introducing a central bank digital currency, CBDC, only 3 countries have officially launched one, and we still await one from a genuine world leader, aside from China piloting the digital yuan with questionable levels of adoption. Instead of getting closer to any CBDCs launching anywhere in the world, we are seemingly getting further away, thanks to a plethora of delays and pauses put on CBDC projects. Have no fear, ladies and gentlemen. In a new report released by security tech company Glessick and Devrient, G&D, and the independent think tank OMFIF, almost a third of central banks have been forced to delay their issuance timeline, while the proportion of central banks that say they are less inclined to issue a CBDC than last year has risen to 15% from zero in 2022. Steady progress is being made, guys. In light of these findings, G&D and OMFIF are urging central banks to take the next step and deploy CBDCs. They say that if they don't, they risk delaying important innovations. And as we all know, and even for the new listeners out there, Quant Network is the technological solution that these central banks and big financial conglomerates will be leveraging, the patented overledger system, for this new CBDC implementation and financial infrastructural overhaul. It's time to make the decisive step to create a public digital payment ecosystem with CBDC, explains Dr. Wolfram Seidemann, CEO of G&D Currency Technology. CBDCs hold significant potential for advancing the digital economy. By offering a public infrastructure, central banks can pave the way for innovative financial products and services while reducing fragmentation in the financial system. However, as it stands, central banks don't seem to be adopting this same attitude, posing the question, will any more countries take the CBDC plunge? To find out if most plans are doomed to be put on ice, we reached out to industry experts, and among those industry experts is our very own Martin Hargreaves. We'll get into him next. First, we're going to go over to Can Tainer, Chief Product Officer at crypto payment gateway BitPace, breaks down the economic and political conditions affecting the decision of central banks. While CBDCs have been a growing focus for central banks, commensurate with the rise in popularity of crypto and the explosion in value of Bitcoin, their adoption could be stalling. China has set a precedent with its establishment of the digital yuan, but other countries will potentially be slow to follow suit, owing largely to shifting political context. The U.S. administration has been vocal in its anti-CBDC policy, with Trump's recent crypto-focused executive order prohibiting the establishment, issuance, circulation, and use of a CBDC. I personally commend President Trump's stance being extremely anti-CBDC here in the United States. I believe he is doing what he believes to be in the best interest of the people of the United States, me being a citizen myself. You can think whatever you want about the man, but he is not afraid to go out on a limb and be independent from the status quo. And I have maintained from day one, despite being one of the largest cheerleaders in the corner of Quant Network and Gilbert Verdian, that CBDCs have the potential to become a dystopian surveillance state nightmare tool that can be used to oppress political as well as civilian opposition to any current regime, not only in the United States, but across the globe. And it's very interesting that Can Tainer here has mentioned China being the absolute leaders of totalitarian surveillance state communism. It is, without a doubt, one of the most oppressive countries and regimes on planet Earth. And the last thing I want to see is the technology that I have been cheerleading from day one on this channel become that dystopic nightmare scenario. And one of the key infrastructural components of that, it's something for us to monitor moving forward. However, the Quant Network's patented overledger system clearly has the potential to overhaul digital finance. It'll be up to the people and the legislative bodies to make sure it is reined in and not utilized for evil as opposed to good in the future. While Trump has been more critical of a so-called digital dollar, there have been pushes to create a digital euro that could help standardize the crypto industry, providing easier and cheaper alternative to the currently fragmented payments landscape in which merchants work, with different attitudes emerging regionally. It could be the case that while some central banks like those in America are more reticent to issue a CBDC, we will see promotion of the idea in regions like the EU. Bingo, ladies and gentlemen. Even with the United States' current administration and their anti-CBDC stance, we will see the European Union roll this out in a major capacity over the next few years. 2026 looks to be the critical year for upgrades across the board and rolling out beta testing phases to the public. Keep that in mind. 2026 should be a major year for Quant Network. and the financial landscape of the future overall. It's true that some enthusiasm has cooled, with many central banks shifting from aggressive promotion to a more measured wait-and-see approach. However, the appeal of cryptocurrency as a normalized payment method is increasing substantially. Democratizing digital payments and making them as easy as a tap on your screen can open up huge possibilities for free-flowing trade, owing to a more financially secure, reliable, and inclusive economy. The future is tokenized, ladies and gentlemen, and Quant Network is bringing that future to the masses. It's simply a matter of time. It's a when, not if scenario. Now, let's go to our main man, Martin Hargreaves, on the illustrious Quant Network Executive Board. Central bank digital currency, CBDC exploration is becoming increasingly fragmented across the globe, adds Martin Hargreaves, Chief Product Officer at Quant, a distributed ledger technology service provider that improves connections and communications between blockchains. Currently, the UK is well positioned to launch a CBDC. Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey recently noted a, quote, strong need to modernize payment practices, especially for cross-border transfers, adding that we must continue to prepare for retail CBDC. The newly elected Labour government also seems more enthusiastic than its conservative predecessor. Under its financial services plan, it has committed to continued work on creating a digital pound. In contrast, the U.S. sits at the opposite end of the spectrum. President-elect Trump has been a vocal opponent of CBDC and has supported the CBDC Anti-Surveillance Act, which prevents the Fed from issuing a CBDC without congressional approval. Having vowed to make the U.S. the, quote, crypto capital of the world, his election victory means that, at least for the duration of his term, we can rule out the prospect of a digital dollar. The EU finds itself somewhere in the middle. While the European Central Bank has pushed ahead with work on creating a digital euro, it faces the challenge of securing buy-in from its member states, many of whom are less enthusiastic about the project than the ECB and European Commission. CBDC development will therefore be gradual and inconsistent, with different jurisdictions moving at different paces. There are first mover advantages and disadvantages. And I believe with Quant Network being strategically positioned in the United Kingdom, one of the vocal leaders in the European Union, and one of the largest economies in the EU, might I add, Quant Network and Gilbert Verdian and Martin Hargreaves are very well positioned to make this leap into the digital future, roll out that retail CBDC, have that first mover advantage, at least in Europe, and see under the microscope analyzing the digital yuan rollout in China. They are going to reap massive benefits with Quant Network's overledger technology. This is no longer in question. Quant Yacht Club is a certainty, ladies and gentlemen. All you need to do is DCA and sit on your hands. Never financial advice, but this is bigger than crypto itself. Let's dive into the second article here, ladies and gentlemen, that I want to bring to your attention today. European Union needs a permanent CBDC, Deutsche Börse CEO. This was released earlier today. The CEO of German securities marketplace Deutsche Börse, Stefan Leithner, is calling for financial reforms in the European Union, including establishing a permanent digital euro to strengthen the region's financial autonomy. In a policy paper published on February 15th, Leithner outlined a 10-step strategy to transform the EU's capital markets union into a savings and investments union with a central bank digital currency at its core. Leithner sees the launch of a permanent CBDC as a key element of the EU's digital agenda and as a crucial component of its financial strategy, using the digital euro as a strategic asset. Speaking about the EU's policy framework and broader approach toward digital thought leadership, the Deutsche Börse CEO said that the European Central Bank and national central banks must work together to ensure that the digital euro enriches the region's capital markets ecosystem. The ECB's joint approach with national central banks around a central bank digital currency will facilitate exploration of the most suitable solutions and truly enrich the EU's capital markets ecosystem, he said. He also highlighted the need for technological developments around, quote, cash on ledger or programmable payments systems to ensure seamless interconnection between the EU's permanent CBDC and existing payment systems and services. That seamless interconnection, or as we know it to be interoperability, is provided by none other than Quant Network's patented overledger system. Leithner said that a CBDC would improve efficiency in financial transactions and strengthen the EU's economic autonomy. finally minimizing the influence of US dollar on Europe. Leithner added that combining various key regulatory frameworks in the EU, such as markets and crypto assets regulation, MiCA, the AI Act, and the Digital Operational Resilience Act, or DORA, would enable the euro to gain competitive edge at global level. While Leithner sees a permanent digital euro as a crucial tool for enhancing the EU's financial stability, competitiveness, and innovation, the policy paper did not elaborate on the technical implementation or regulatory framework. In January, banking giant Standard Chartered announced plans to establish a new Luxembourg entity offering crypto and digital asset custody services. If you've been a member of my channel for a period of time now, you would know from my past research released on this channel that Standard Chartered, Gilbert Verdian, and Quant Network have an established working relationship in the sandbox experimentation phases of the past. Golden little side note tidbit for you there. Standard Chartered's crypto offering in the EU will be limited to Bitcoin and Ether, with more assets coming later in 2025. The bank's head of digital assets, Waqar Chaudhry, told Coin Telegraph. Ladies and gentlemen, the writing is on the wall. The connections continue to overflow from the cuppeth with abundance. There is no other asset or cryptocurrency company that has the standards, regulations down pat, has the technology that all the banks are looking to leverage for this new financial system, to bring tokenization online, to bring CBDCs online, to bring previously untouched and untapped industries into the fold. Quant Network is synonymous with the new financial infrastructure of planet Earth. Get your ducks in a row. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. This has been another feature presentation by MF Crypto, aka Quantstradamus, aka the Wife Changer, aka the Quant Father, the #1 source for all your Quant Network needs. I'll see you next episode. Cheers.
If the lion is the king of the jungle, how can he be the king of the jungle? If he's not the biggest, the elephant is probably one of the biggest. He can't be the fastest because that's a cheetah. He can't be the smartest. So he's not the biggest, the fastest, or the smartest. So how does a lion become the king of the jungle? His mentality. That's the only difference of a lion and an elephant. When a lion walks up and sees an elephant, he thinks lunch. An elephant thinks run. And it's all mentality. Because when a male lion walks up, he may be outnumbered by a pack of hyenas, but I'm king of my jungle because of my mentality.
What happens when you're a gazelle and you're not being pushed, you're not being prodded, you're not given a reward, nobody's encouraging you? What happens when you're a gazelle and the lion's not chasing you anymore? You stop running. But what happens when you're a lion? When you are a lion, it does not make a difference. You realize that if your family is going to eat, that if that pack of lions is to survive, then you gotta go hunt. A part of being a beast just ain't eating a gazelle. A part of being a beast is the hunts. It's the hunt that they're excited about. They like to see the gazelles run. Then boom, they take off. Because real lions like to hunt. They love the process just as much as they love the prize. And some of y'all just want to score. You don't like the process. You're not in love with the process.
A true hunter's goal is not the prize. A true hunter's goal is to hunt. That's what they live for. They live to hunt. They don't just live to catch it. It's the whole process. When you are a true hunter, you don't go by time, you go by the gazelle. When you are a true hunter, you hunt until you get a gazelle, and you don't stop until you get one. And then you get another, and then you get another, and you get another.
If you're gonna do what you say you're gonna do, be what you say you're gonna be, you're gonna have to lion me out. You a gazelle, you're gonna come up short. You a gazelle, you're gonna have an average experience. You a student, I need you in lion mode. You an entrepreneur, I need you in lion mode. You trying to lose weight, lion mode. You can't do nothing significant in gazelle mode, nothing.
Nothing impressive happens in gazelle mode. Nothing happens in run mode, give up mode, quit mode, scared mode, fearful mode. Nothing happens. Everything happens in lion mode like I'm coming to get you.